Hey, this is Brian at Grumpy's Diesel. What we have here is a 2010 6.4 liter, and the customer was presented with intermittently while he was driving, the temperature gauge would all of a sudden go all the way to hot, and it would go into reduced power. Well, the actual engine coolant temperature was maintaining its normal temperature. What was happening was the oil temperature was spiking over 250 degrees. So at that time, the computer would bypass the coolant gauge and use it as an oil gauge to alert the driver that something was going on. What we found was a restriction in the actual oil cooler was causing the oil temperature to get out of parameter, but at the same time was allowing the coolant temperature to stay normal. And in disassembly, what we found was a restriction in the coolant side of the oil cooler, which was restricting the coolant flow through the oil cooler. What the oil cooler does is, on one side of the cooler, one layer is coolant and the other layer is oil, and it transfers the heat from the oil to the coolant and disperses it back through the cooling system. So when that flow was restricted, there was no capability of the oil cooler to function and bring that temperature down on the oil cooler. So in this situation, what we're going to do is we're going to replace the factory oil cooler with another OE oil cooler, and then we're going to install a bulletproof oil cooler half kit, which will help prevent this from happening again and keep the oil temperature from overheating again.